You know, ladies and gentlemen, there have been a lot of great players who skated in the Kitchener minor hockey programs of the 1960s. Now, this guy came to the NHL as a highly regarded player after putting in several seasons with the Kitchener Green Shirts and the Kitchener Rangers of the OHA. Actually, in his season before he was drafted, he officially only had 2 points in 5 games before the New York Rangers took him. And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, although he didn't get enough recognition for his play with the Rangers, numbers came there when he ended up in St. Louis. He found himself at one point within one division victory of making the Stanley Cup final in '72, only to see the St. Louis squad lose to Boston in the semifinals. So today we're going to be talking about the pride of Sudbury, Ontario, the guy he called Smokey because of his big shot, Jack Egers. Now, originally drafted in '66 by the Rangers, he also played for the Blues and was an original Washington Capital. Now, an original member of the DC side, they claimed him in the '74 NHL expansion draft. He holds the distinction of scoring the first ever game-winning goal for the squad on October 17, '74 against the Blackhawks. Now, he spent numerous successful years in the Kitchener Fire Department, especially as captain. We'll get that in a second. When he passed a few years back, the first thing came out that he was at the time one of the youngest head coaches of his era. You know, had so many years of minor pro experience, and then found himself all the way coaching minor hockey. Now, he won the Sutherland Cup, the OHA Junior B title with the Kitchener Green Shirts in '65, and again had played only 5 games of Junior A with the Kitchener Rangers prior to the selections, and official hometown, Lively, Ontario, a beautiful community, by the way. Now, first contract, the NHL was 1968. He had his debut versus Oakland on December 21st, '69, and his final NHL game was November 5th, '75, for the Capital versus LA. When he retired in '77, he eventually decided to go into coaching. We'll get that in a quick second. Now, he led the OHA with 53 goals for Kitchener in '68, and was named to the OHA All-Star First Team with Kitchener in '68. He played in the Omaha squad that won the CHL regular season title in '69-70. He led the CHL in goals with 42 and points 90 in the 1970 campaign. He also helped New York clinch a playoff berth with 2 goals for Detroit in a must-win '69-70 regular season finale on April 5th, 1970. Of course, this was the year that Montreal got knocked out of the playoffs by New York. Now, he won the CHL Adams Cup with Alma in 1970 after opening the playoffs in NHL with New York. Now, he was named to the CHL All-Star First Squad with Omaha in 1970. Now, he played for Washington in their team's first ever game on October 9, '74 at the Rangers. And again, that game-winning goal was a 4-3 nipping of Chicago on October 17, '74. Now, after pro play, he skated with the very, very talented Brantford Alexanders in '77, where he won the Allen Cup and was named MVP in '77. Now, he is also a member of the great, now this is a great Hall of Fame, by the way, the Hockey Heritage North Hall of Fame in Kirkland Lake, Ontario. You should visit that. There's a lot of great players are in there. Now, played 7 years on and off in the NHL. 284 goals, 284 games, 64 goals, 69 assists, 133 minutes in penalties. In the postseason, 5 goals, 6 assists for 11 points. Now, the trade that I think got St. Louis as far as he did in '72 was one of the biggest in St. Louis history in the early '70s. He was traded by New York with Andre Dupont and Mike Murphy to St. Louis in exchange for Gene Carr, Jim Lorentz, and Wayne Connolly. It was a very balanced trade because New York was better for it. They made it in the finals that year, but of course, St. Louis knocked off Minnesota in that first round. Despite being blown out by the Bruins in the second round, they were a game team. Now, he was eventually traded by St. Louis to the Rangers back for Glenn Sader and a player to be named later, Rennie Villemeux, on October 31st, '73. Now, this was after a back-to-back 20-goal season with St. Louis. He was eventually claimed by Washington again from the Rangers in the '74 NHL expansion draft. Now, born John Richard Egers, again nicknamed Smokey, served as Waterloo OHA Junior B head coach in '78, served as Kitchener, Ontario Junior B head coach during the 1980s, and because he was born in in 1949, again he get the head coaching rank 28, 29 years of age, so he could still play, but injuries kind of battled him a little bit. Now, he eventually coached a Waterloo area hockey team in the 2011 World Police and Fire Games, which drew a lot of recognition. A lot of signatures were signed by Egers in that tournament. A very, very beloved guy. Now, when he became a firefighter in Kitchener, Ontario, he earned the rank of captain before his retirement in June 2009. Now, he's also the older brother of former minor leaguer Jerry Egers. Now, the WHA took big recognition of him. He was taken by the Raiders from New York in the 72 WHA draft. Now, get this. The big line he played on was with Jean Rattel and Rod Gilbert for New York in the 70 playoffs, and he called him the speed line because obviously Gilbert and Rattel were quite good. Egers 6'1", 180, 190 pounds, a very solid guy. Now, the Rangers were tried him in left wing for a while. A natural right winger, he converted him to left wing early in his pro career. Now, his slap shot drew a lot of attention, and again, that's where he got the nickname Smokey. Now, just to recap his rough numbers: Omaha Knights in 69, 58 points in 59 games, 28 counters. Omaha Knights, the Rangers affiliate, of course, 1970, 42 goals, 48 assists for 90 points. Now, his first season with the Rangers, he had 3 big goals in 6 regular season contests, with 3 more in 5 playoff games. So his first 11 games, he had 4 goals. Draw a lot of interest from the New York press, and a very handsome and a genial guy as well. 71 his rookie campaign, 17 points in 60 games, including 7 goals. 72 in a split season between the Rangers and St. Louis, 23 goals, 26 assists for 49 points. Second campaign was St. Louis, a big 48 points, 24 goals, 24 assists. Now again, the trade to the Rangers, his production pretty well dropped off. In 34 games in 74, he had 1 goal and 4 assists for 5 points. Now with the Capitals in 75, he had 3 goals and 5 points in 14 contests. 76, 12 games with Washington, 3 goals, 3 assists, and 6 points. He also hit 15 games with the Clippers in Baltimore, the AHL affiliate, 8 points in 15 games, 4 goals and 4 assists. And Brantford again, the big campaign in that Allen Cup year, 39 points in 30 games, including 20 goals in that season. Now, ironically, ladies and gentlemen, I was made aware of Smokey's passing a couple of weeks after it happened, 2021. And let me tell you something. The impact he had. He left Lively to play with the Rangers at age 15, and of course that's when he met his beautiful wife, Wendy. And let me tell you something. His impact in his family and within the lovers of the game of hockey was tremendous. Now, when the hockey career came to an end, he brought his family back to Canada, where he became a respected firefighter with the KFT, and again. He also always had recordings of obituary, held dear pride and brotherhood, found with the KFT and all his first responder colleagues. But most of all, Jack took pride and treasured dearly the love of the family he and Wendy created, and the close friendships he made along the way. An avid story and joke teller, he was in his element, entertaining anyone he crossed his path with in his captivating and charming life. He lived life to the fullest and spent much of his personal time golfing, hunting, fishing, and traveling. At the time, in tribute to him, there was donations asked for to the Canadian Pulmonary Fibrosis Foundation in Jack's memory. So if you like Egers as a player, please consider a donation. Now, this is a delayed podcast, and I'll tell you why. When he passed away in 2021, a big St. Louis fan asked me to do a podcast, and I didn't have enough information at the time, because what I do, I cull information from different stuff. But what stood out for me is how handsome this guy was. Like his hockey cards, and he's like the old blue uniforms in the early 70s. I've been rewatching some of the Nesson games between St. Louis and Boston in the early 70s. He really stood out to me, probably one of the most handsome players of the Blues at the time. And he had nice looking men in the team. They had Mike Murphy and Gary Younger. Barrisons was around there. It just seemed he loved the sport that we love. He loved hockey. and he played it hard out. Losing 28-8 in the score to Boston, he never gave up. You look at Game 4 when he scored 2 goals late to try to to extend the series, but Boston was too much. But St. Louis, the reason why they had a hard time in the series, they had a lot of forward and defense talent, but the three goalies, Wakely and Caron and McDuffie, were no Glenn Hall or Jacques Plante, and that was a big part. So that's the story of the very, very talented, our Hall of Famer, Jack Egers. If you like what we're doing here with our hockey podcast, especially our good pals in Kitchener, Kitchener is one of the greatest places for hockey in Canada. It's my honor to cover the Rangers over the years. Let us know what you think with a like, comment, subscribe, or share. And don't forget, we only live through our heroes, and the life we live is based on those who touch our lives. And Jack touched our lives in many ways. His family, his friends, his colleagues. And, he eventually started off building a life, expanding his life, touching lives, and then saving lives. So, your life, you should leave this life better than you found it, and that's what he did. He has our great respect here on the channel. Thanks for listening. Bye.